Coached for us, coaches at Grandview, got his GV on, played at Upper Iowa, got a long history in the game.
All right, I'll try to hurry through this. When Carol asked me to say something, I got excited, I got nervous, anxious, so I just started writing stuff down. I'm going to talk about kind of my experience with the program, where I'm at right now, because this program has helped shape me and where I'm at today. If you'll see this paper shaking, yeah, I'm a little nervous. It's a little bit about me. I was in the program from 96 to 99 with a lot of good players and great coaches like everybody in this room has had. You know, at that time, 96, we were a semifinalist team, lost to the eventual champion. 97, we were state champions. 98, semis, lost to eventual champion. And in 99, sorry, my senior year, we went 5-4. We had 7 seniors on the team, and we were named the Magnificent Seven. Dusty Brunchen, Nat Tagtoe, Matt Foster, Keith Payton, Derek Pavlik, Danny Molds, and myself, KWW sports guy. Jeff Mickey, if anybody remembers Jeff Mickey, came to practice fall camp, heard we were down in numbers, and decided to suit up and practice with us. He went with the O-line, he went with the D-line, and he was even the holder for a little bit. He didn't quite make the team. Starting lineup on offense that year, and kind of pay attention to the weights of the offensive line here. Left tackle was 145 pounds, soaking wet. It was Dusty Brunchen. Left guard was 185 pounds, Danny Molds. The center was Mark Teat at 170 pounds. I was the right guard and the biggest guy at 220. And the right tackle was 165 pounds, Derek Pavlik. So 145, 185, 170, 220, and 165. Quarterback was Chris Forsyth, fullback Aaron Kaufman, Keith Payton, running back. Tagtoe was the tight end. Matt Foster and Todd Block were the wide receivers. An extremely scrappy starting lineup, group of brothers that I hold dear to my heart, just like every football player that has gone through this program. Like every single Warrior team, we fought hard all season, and in every game, never giving in or up in those losses, just like we were coached. We battled the #1 ranked Postville team that very last game after 2 losses in a row, and all the way down to literally the final snap, where we fell short, ending our careers with a 28-20 loss. Still hurts, brings back memories, and anybody that's gone through the program can recall taking off the black and gold that one last time in the locker room. But, you know, it ends, life goes on. The final handshakes, hugs, pats on the back from the 4 coaches as we all 7 walked out, knowing that life would go on. All right, done with that sappy stuff for a little bit. So I graduated in the spring of 2000. Started college 2002. I started college in 2000. In 2002, Coach Foster gave me my first coaching gig as a volunteer. I got to look behind the scenes of Coach Foster, Coach Davis, and Coach Doden, something that I didn't really get to see as a player. So that first year in 02, we went 7-2, did not make the playoffs. First year coaching, desire to play college football kind of hit me, and had the itch, said let's go do it. Somehow went back, went to Upper Iowa, was the kicker and the punter both, and got that itch over, decided coaching was where I wanted to be. I learned from some of the best, so why not get into it and still coach with the best. Came crawling back in 04 to Coach Foster, and he let me help coach again, and hooked me up with another young coach, Justin Davey, who also had a role in shaping me into the coach that I've become. And together we ran and operated the JV freshman teams for the next 4 years. You know, 04 and 05 we were in Class 1A, had some rough years. I went 7-11. 05, I was lucky enough to find someone that would marry me, and that would continue backing me, supporting me, and making all my coaching possibilities attainable. 06, we were runner-up, 12-1, met a little better IKM team than we were. 07, found out my wife was pregnant, turned out a nice little blessing in disguise. Turned out to be a pretty good year, obviously, because we won the state championship. You know, the first round we beat North Tama, a team that 6 or 7 games that year didn't give up a point and were touted highly in the papers and all that. A battle of the Titans, offense versus defense. We shut them out 40-0. And second round we beat a good Lisbon team, semis somehow 81 yards and 81 seconds to beat a Madrid team that was unbelievable, and then beat Lawton Bronson in the finals. Also that year, Coach Davey and I went undefeated in the JV team. So 19-0-1. We tied East Buck because of a blown call, and also a very heated game against Denver, which all of them are, especially at the JV level, where a certain referee waved off a very important flag because he did not know the penalty enforcement. But we still won. All right, next chapter. I know. It's long, sorry. I apologize in advance. All right. So we moved down, after that championship game, moved down to Des Moines, took another job. I knew going into that fall of 07 it was going to be my last year coaching a Wapsie, kind of a special one. You know, capped it off with a state championship. You can't ask for anything better. Moved down, got hooked up with Grandview somehow. They were a program that was not in existence at that time. I got hired in February, and that fall was our first year. We put together a varsity team. That first year, when we had a chance to go club team or a JV team, we decided let's throw a varsity schedule together. And out of the starting 22, 20 of them were freshmen, 2 were juniors. And somehow we won that first game, and somehow won another game that year. We went 2-8. The second year we went 8-3, and kind of the rest has been a blessing. I was a running backs coach for the first 7 years, and these past 2 I've been a tight ends coach as the running backs, blessed with great players. Over 10,000 yards in the first 7 years, 120 touchdowns, 3 first-team selections, 2 second-team selections, and a first-team All-American. The past 2 years as a tight ends coach, they're a little less flashy, but two first-team all-conference selections and 2 honorable mentions. So, and then I'm lucky enough to coach the kickers and the punter, and the long snappers and the holders. Best kicker in the NAIA last year with 100% field goal rating. And you know, 6th year into the program, we won the national championship somehow. So I won a state championship at Wapsie and a national championship at the college level. So in between, you know, coaching football, having another 40-hour-a-week job, which being labeled a part-time coach, that doesn't happen at the college level. You're a full-time coach. You know, I've got that going on, another 40-hour job. Somehow I know, but so had our 3rd and 4th kid, and moved houses in Ankeny, obtained a master's degree, and you know, all in those 2 years. But none of the accomplishments that I've said are without going through this program, and obviously my wife and our 4 little hellions that we did not bring out into public tonight. Like I said, I tell you all this because that's where I'm at currently, but I'm there because of this, you know, going through this program. And I'll tell you kind of how it all started for this program with me. You know, it all started in a little 3-bedroom house located at 105 South Iowa Street in Fairbank. If you go looking for it, it's not there anymore. You walk out the front door of the IC church, right down that hill, that's where my house was, that's where I grew up. A gazebo, a nice park, a walking trail, that's where my house was. But it's in that backyard where my dad handed me a football and got me going in this program. So it all started, in any backyard we could find. It was always open. We'd play endless football games, basketball, baseball, kickball, whatever game we made up. Ride the bikes across town, go home when the street lamps came on, like everybody back in the day. It all started, and back in the early '90s, sitting on that old Fairbank Elementary gym floor, where all the football players, the varsity football players, would come during homecoming week and give their little speech. All the beautiful cheerleaders. At that time, growing up, we all sat there in awe, and it all started in the big open lot just south of the IC gym that used to sit there, where 40 to 50 of us kids every summer would go play. And a lot of us got humbled pretty quickly, especially when Trevor Shannon showed up and would play. It all started going to the Friday night football games, when there was another football game always going on somewhere in the other field against the team that we were playing, those kids, because we wanted to be just like those guys on the field. For me, it all started every day after school with Matt Foster out there chasing Dwayne in the yard that we thought at that time was a lot bigger yard than it is now. Driving by there and seeing just how small it is compared to what we thought it was, and maybe us beating up on Dwayne helped him out. Now, very proud of what he's grown into and the coach that he's become. It all started when I'd be on my way home into the communities, any of the Wapsie communities, and you see that Warrior Country sign strategically placed as you drive into town, so you'd know, people from out of town would know where you're at and know where they're at. See if anybody remembers this. Waiting outside for the team to come up on the hill, and they'd always have that unforgettable pregame ritual where they'd clap their hands and then clap their thigh boards. Clap their hands, clap their thigh boards. There it is, right there. You knew where you were at when you started hearing that. And other teams, it can be intimidating. And we always had that intimidation factor here, and we still do, I believe. It all started when us youngsters would go line up just in front of that hill, when all those varsity guys would climb up that hill, go underneath those goalposts. We'd get all our high fives. We'd think we were the coolest guys in the world. The hottest seat in the area was that Wapsie-Denver game. And you had to be there minimum an hour early just to get a spot to stand along the cables. Have they gotten rid of those cables yet, the fencing? Or are they still around that football field with the white wooden posts? And then, obviously it started when my dad handed me that football in the backyard, allowing me to grow up, knowing that all I wanted to do was play for Wapsie. I have that Wapsie sticker on my helmet. Sorry, I get a little emotional talking about this program because of the passion I have for it. That was the Warrior way, and I was filled, and still am, with Warrior pride, which kind of moves me into this whole Warrior pride. And as I kind of describe it, everybody's going to get the same feelings I have. Pride, so passion, strong and barely controllable emotion. Respect, feeling a deep admiration for someone or something elicited by their abilities, qualities, or achievements. Integrity, the quality of being honest, having strong moral principles, being whole or undivided. Discipline, using reason to determine the best course of action regardless of one's own desires. Self-control or restraint, and then obviously enthusiasm, intense and eager enjoyment, interest or approval. So I'll name off eight programs here that to show what company we're in. You've got Harlan, Emmitsburg, Bettendorf, Regina, Solon, West Des Moines Valley, and Decorah and Wapsie Valley. All those teams are programs with 5 or more state titles in the whole state of Iowa. That's pretty good company. Over the past 48 years, Wapsie's got an overall record of 356 and 129 for a 7-3 average over 48 years, 7-3 average. 86 to 90 teams still hold one of the state's longest regular season win streaks with 41 games. 7 appearances in the title game, 5-2 record, not to mention numerous semifinals, quarterfinals, and playoff appearances that Stone's video showed. There's a reason for this. This coaching staff didn't just teach you a position at Wapsie, they made you a student of the game. Taught you the concepts of football, what the man next to you was doing and why he was doing it, why routes were run certain way they were, and what different windows it opened up. And Coach Doden's wrath that was brought down on you if you got reached playing defensive end. What's made our program so successful? Because we've always been a smart football team. And that was handed down by all the coaches. They taught you how to be part of a team, the team first concept, and that not one single person was above it. They taught you to respect the game of football as a whole because it can be taken away in an instant. They instilled values in everyone associated with this program that hopefully you'd carry on in your life past football. You may not have known it or realized it at the time, but they taught you the game of life. In my professional opinion, every one of these coaches should be in the Iowa Coaches Hall of Fame. But of course, none of this would be possible without the parents creating coachable and respectful kids. There's 2 things you can't coach: attitude and effort. It didn't matter in this program. They didn't have to worry about that because, one, everybody in this program had an attitude, believe it or not. And number 2, they always gave you their best effort every Friday night for the coaches because we were a family. You didn't want to be the guy that let your teammates down. Family, that's what this program has been and always will about. I'm almost done, I promise. Okay.
Great job, Heath. Don't worry
So,
about it. Everybody wants to end this for a game.
I know everybody's watching this, so that's okay. Carry on. It's all right. So these might bring back some memories. So it's all kind of a here's to the 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. practices in the fall to start football practice or to start the football season. That fun 5-minute run that we always did. The wind sprints, the up downs, the 7-man sled on Mondays, the 2-man sled, or Coach Doden's sled as I like to call it, the 1-man sled that turned on a dime if you weren't squared up and put you on your face, the staying in your stances for what seemed like an eternity until Coach Southmaid or Foster got around to checking every single athlete out, making sure they were all correct. Here's to the planks, the chutes, the bag drills, the nutcracker drill. The one shower out of all 4 in the varsity side of the locker room with no shower head on it, and it was full blast. Nothing in between, melted your skin off. To the delicious, mouth-watering aroma that would punch you in the face as you walked into the locker room. To the open door policy on all the toilet stalls, both in the locker rooms and the main restrooms. I'm assuming that's changed by now. The Friday afternoon pep rallies, where every class belted out their battle cry. To the concrete practice fields that only made us tougher. To the custodians and the maintenance crew who week in and week out every single year made our field one of the best for Friday nights and still continue that to this day. To all the fans in the community who continue to support this program and will always continue to support it. To the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd generations of Warriors that will someday move on to the 4th generation if it hasn't already. To Coach Davis, who had to have gone through minimum 1 million rolls of tape in his career, making sure all his players were taped up and ready for action. To the Thursday night drill. Anybody remember the Thursday night drill? All right. To all those who laid the foundation, donned those sweat hog jerseys, and paved the way for us to continue what is Warrior football. To those future Warriors, the present Warriors, we past Warriors, and those Warriors who are with us no more. To all the parents, family members, teachers, administration, community who played an extremely important role not only in their children's lives, but an important role in the program. Here's a huge thank you to Coach Southmaid, Coach Davis, Coach Doden, Coach Foster, and the number of other coaches that have played an integral role in this program year in and year out, providing us athletes a culture, a climate, and a program that we are all proud to have been a part of, and something we will all still carry with us in our everyday lives. A special thank you from me to Coach Foster for giving me a chance to pursue my dreams and becoming a football coach. All of my successes are attributed to and are all shaped with my Warrior family. Every single person sitting here this evening has made my career possible in one way or another. I am and always will be a Wapsie Valley Warrior first and foremost. And the biggest thank you, often overlooked, goes out to Lori Southmaid, Sharon Davis, Ann Doden, and Carol Foster for all their years of commitment to this Wapsie program. For over 30 years, their commitment to raising a family and maintaining a loving household while their husbands were off playing on the field. If it weren't for you strong, passionate women, these guys would have been lost, I'm sure of it. You are all team moms, and we're forever grateful. You all bled black and gold just as much as we did, and you'll always be part of this Warrior family. All right, lastly, I'll leave you with my favorite quote of all time. Everybody who knows Dave Owens probably remembers this quote one way or another. So it goes, "Remember, here at Wapsie Valley, we give our opponents every opportunity to win, and then we beat them." All right, that's it.